Hi everybody, it's Kay, and today I'm reviewing Caught by Harlan Coben. I gave this book 4 stars on Goodreads. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. There are lots of moving pieces, lots of moving parts, twists and turns, lots of characters. You have to pay attention to every little thing. Even the most minute of details will mean something later on in the book. And even some of the characters you may think are insignificant play a larger role than you might think. So you really have to pay close attention. So what is Caught about? Well, there is a man that we're introduced to in the very beginning. His name is Dan Mercer. He shows up at a house to help a 13-year-old girl. Dan is a social worker. He loves his community. He loves children. And this is what gets him into hot water. Against every instinct he has, he goes to this house to meet this young girl. And lo and behold, he's busted by a reporter named Wendy Tynes. And Dan is arrested. He's thrown in jail for being an alleged child predator, sexual predator. So Wendy, of course, is very happy that she got this crazy guy off the street, or in her mind. But there's also another story going on at the same time. There's a young girl named Haley McWade who's missing. She's 17, and she's been missing now for about 90 days. So Wendy, working with law enforcement, they try to piece together the puzzle and figure out whether or not Dan had anything to do with Haley's disappearance. And the more she delves into this story, the more puzzle pieces, she finds as she tries to put this thing together. And she goes on a journey that is so unexpected from the direction you think he's taking the book. I mean, really, you really go on a roller coaster ride. There's so many characters. There are Dan's former Princeton college roommates who have had scandals of their own, who may or may not have something to do with what Dan is going through. There's Dan's ex-wife, Jenna, who seems awfully concerned and involved with Dan, even though she's married again and moved on with her life. There's Ed Grayson, whose nephew has been touched by someone, and of course it must be Dan since he's the alleged sexual predator, right? And there are some quirky coffeehouse characters that also play a role in the story, and on and on and on. Like I said, there are a lot of characters, lots of puzzle pieces, moving parts, but the biggest questions are, is Dan guilty, of being a sexual predator, and where, oh, where is Haley McWade? So I tell you that once Caught catches your attention, it will keep it up to the very end. And the ending is satisfying, it's somewhat surprising, but I know that you're going to find it to be very fulfilling. The characters are interesting, they make mistakes, they do good deeds, they, help Wendy in some ways, and in some ways they plot against her, but I think that you're really going to enjoy the ride. So pick up Caught by Harlan Coben. And until next time, everybody, keep reading.